A very good morning, sir. Today I'll be presenting the introduction of our company, which is HealthSouth. HealthSouth Corporation is the leading provider of medical rehabilitation healthcare and also providing outpatient surgery services in its rehabilitation facilities. HealthSouth also offers physical and other therapies. HealthSouth has contract with managed care plans, insurance company and major corporations such as Walmart and Goodyear. HealthSouth also has alliance with professional sports association and schools. Lastly, HealthSouth Corporation announces the name change will be accompanied by a NYSE ticker symbol change from HLS to EHC. Both company segments will begin transiting to encompass health name in the first quarter of 2008.
Hi and Assalamualaikum to Sir Mustafa. I am your Sara binti Ahmad Kamal Azuan from UDE Session 3. My matrix number is UDE200185. So today I'm going to present to you about the second part of this assignment, which is the background of HealthSouth Company. HealthSouth Corporation is the United States' biggest provider as well as the operator of medical rehabilitative care in Birmingham, Alabama. HealthSouth provides physical and other therapy in its rehabilitation facilities, serve patients, and also provides non-emergency surgical services across the countries. The company is also well known in offering a higher level of rehabilitative care to patients who are suffering from serious debilitative conditions such as stroke, brain injuries, and others. HealthSouth was incorporated as a Delaware company under the name of Umcced Incorporated by its founder, Richard M. Scratchy. So these are the pictures of HealthSouth Rehabilitation Center.
Now, let's go on negative effects that the person faced from the fraud. Firstly, layoff many thousands of workers whose lives and family has been thrown into disarray, perhaps helplessness. Millions of families had their healthcare disrupted or threatened as a result of the corporation at HealthSouth and the company's subsequent downsizing. Millions of people's insurance money has been stealed through this scandal. Due to this, many innocent people were suffering. Next, many of the workers lost their job due to this scandal. After knowing about the scandal in HealthSouth, the company were closed. Perhaps the workers lost their job too. Lastly, as I said, most employees lost their job, but some of them were still working there. These people were added pressure to not complete their current job functions, but also to pick up additional works.
Hi guys, my name is Arvind Rajendiran from UDE Section 3. Now I'm going to continue the negative effect which is health in Health South. The negative effect of fraud to Health South is which happens in accounting practices that cause the debacles of the company. The misrepresentation included 2.7 billion from 1996 to 2002 is misleading bookkeeping pieces and 500 million of base reflecting generously and various items connected with accusations. The company lacked full faithful representation to report the company financials, then the company will lose stakeholders' confidence. As a consequence, the company and the workers engaged in illegal practices will suffer. In the long run, they suffer. It needs to include several entities and a large number of people to tackle such a large accounting scandal. Next, because of this fraud, HealthSouth badly missed its earnings and their image also went down in the summer of 1996. HealthSouth's falsified financial statements affected shareholders and some other stakeholder groups as the next shocking and inconvenienced customers. In the following years, to account for the maintained million-dollar gaps between their real losses and their reported profits, HealthSouth had to restate earnings. In the end, customers also lost trust on the company. As a conclusion of this part, the lesson is if the illegal policy or ethical framework does not meet in top level of authority, including the top level of authority, the unethical activities will affect the company's stakeholders. things are not necessarily the name in financial statement as they seem. Thank you.
Based on the case, three components of internal control that could help to avoid the fraud case are control environment, control activities, and also monitoring of control. Okay, so the first one is control environment. Control environment is a set of standards, processes, and structures that provide the basis for carrying out internal control across the organization. This control environment includes the following elements or factors such as integrity and ethical values, human resource policies and procedures, and also organization structure. So for the first one, which is the integrity and ethical values, management and employees must show integrity and ethical values like honesty into the daily business operations that may influence the effectiveness of entity internal control. For human resource policies and procedures, control difficulties can be avoided by sound hiring procedures, training, evaluating, compensating, promoting, and also taking remedial action. For organization structure, organizations that have a clear understanding of who reports to whom within an organization will limit the chance for internal control issues.
Assalamualaikum and hi to Sir Mustafa. I am Nur Afiqah Syamimi binti Zainal from UDE Section 3. My matrix number is UDE200205. So I'm going to present about component of internal control. Another component of internal control that could help avoid fraud case is control activities. Control activities is the policy and procedures that help to ensure the management directives are carried out. Element of internal control system. It is the use of accounting system, information technology, and other resources to ensure that appropriate controls are in place and operating properly. The elements of control activities are first, physical custody of asset. So for physical custody of asset, this control include restriction on access to buildings, specified office, or factories area or equipment, which is physical control over assets, including both tangible and intangible assets, and records help protect the company assets. So the second element of control activities is authorization, which is good purchase must be approved by purchasing officers and the payment needs to be approved by two officers. Next is personnel, which is control over selection and training of staff to match with their responsibilities. Okay, for example, choose the right staff that match with their qualification. So next is arithmetical and accounting controls. These controls are in place to ensure accurate recording and processing of transactions. Procedures here include reconciliation and trial balance. So the proper recording of transaction according to the principle of generally accepted accounting principle that will prevent frauds such as manipulation of accounts. So next is management control, which is defined as a system adopted by the company to compare its performance to preset target, plans or objectives so that management team could determine whether the company efficiency as well as that remedial action should be taken if the target is not reached. These controls are operate outside the day-to-day routine of the system. Next element is organizational control, which is enterprise should have an effective plan of organization. It is operate according to the configuration of the organization chart line or staff responsibilities. Next is segregation of duties, which is to minimize the risk of errors and fraud. Duties associated with cash handling are of desegregated. The division of duties in Hinder the control operation helps to isolate the duties and person so that no one is able to record and process a full transaction. The last element of control activities which is responsible the last component of control activities is supervision control, which is responsible officers should supervise on day-to-day work in carrying out and recording transactions. It is an oversight. It is the oversight of the work of other individuals by someone in position of responsibility. Supervisory control helps to ensure that individuals do the task. That is from me. Thank you.
Assalamualaikum and hi to Mustafa. My name is Mira Safira binti Azhar and my metric number UDE200144. I will continue with monitoring control. Monitoring of control is to assess the quality of internal control over time. This purposely helps to ensure that control activities and other planned actions that affect internal control are carried out properly and in a timely manner. This will lead to effectiveness and efficiency operation of the internal control. For example, management uses internal auditor or personnel performing similar functions to monitor our works. Besides that, monitoring of control can be done with ongoing monitoring, which is company's daily operation that include regular management and supervisor activities and also a separate evaluations. As I mentioned earlier, internal auditor can monitor but they should also obtain the knowledge about monitor the performance of internal control over financial reporting and how corrective is initiated. Internal control deficiency should be reported upstream and with serious matters reported to top management and the regions. Example of monitoring: management can monthly review of organizations' performance reports. That's all from me. Thank you.
Alright, so I'm Eric from UDE200169. I'm gonna do my presentation on my part, which is what happened to Health South right now. So as you can see right here, Health South, they changed their name in 2018 to Encompass Health, which I think it's a great thing for them because their business started to go into the right track and their stock price is actually increasing. So from 2015 to 2020, which if you buy their stock, you are going to be happy lah from this 5 years return. Alright, that's all. Alright, I'm Eric. So right now, I'm gonna present my part, okay, which is what happened to Health South right now after the scandal lah, after the fraud. Okay, first of all, what they did is they announced strategic plan to reposition their business after the fraud in 2006. The first thing they did, they terminate Richard Skershi. They straight away terminate his post as chairman and CEO, and then they rehire someone as permanent CEO. The guy is Jay Greeny, and then they hire 3 person to restructure their firm and asset, which is Alvan Rest and Marcel and Brian Marcel Chief. All these guys are recommended by JP Morgan, and if you know a lot of stock market, you might know who is JP Morgan. This is a big company in US, which it's actually a bank up in US. And then the next thing they did is they restated their earning from 2000 to 2003, and then they purchased Encompass Home Health, which this is quite important because later they will change their name to encompass Health Corporation. So in November 15, 2015, HealthSouth purchased CareSouth and added 45 new home health locations. In January 1st, 2018, HealthSouth officially converted its name to Encompass Health Corporation and the stock ticker changes to EHC. Thank you.
Next, after HealthSouth changed their name from HealthSouth to Encompass Health Corporation, they became nation's largest of integrated healthcare services. They have around 39 states, and in the 39 states, it includes 136 hospitals, 245 home health locations, and 83 hospices. They also became the largest owner and operator of inpatient rehabilitation facilities. Their stock price increasing from 2015 to 2020. In 2019, Encompass Health Corporation earned about 4.7 billion revenue, and in the same year, they already treated more than 364,000 patients. In this year, Encompass Health Corporation already had around 43,800 employees.
As a conclusion part, Richard Scrushy, the demise of HealthSouth can be pinpointed down to three main causes, which is greed, lack of values in the business, and failure in the internal controls. Richard Scrushy was concerned with increasing HealthSouth status and increasing his own personal benefits, that leading him to do whatever he could to maintain the image of his business and keep shareholders happy. This led him to exploit his own business and employees into committing crimes for the benefit of everyone involved in the business, which showing that all those involved lack morality. This immorality may also have reached as far as ERNST and Young, who were likely bribed not to produce a health study that was a real and honest portrayal. While there may be internal control to deter fraud within HealthSouth, it is obvious that these were not enforced by those at the top who felt they were above the law. Finally, precautions were not placed in place to deter such illegal acts that ultimately culminated in the downfall of Richard M. Scrushy and the credibility of HealthSouth, the employer he controlled. Thank you.